Ruby. How are you today?
You know, I'm really not doing well. I'm really not doing well. I really want to find out what I need to do to get my kids back, to figure out all these things the judge told me that I have to do. So, really, I'm not doing too well this morning.
And I mean, I can understand that being a mom, your kids have been taken, but tell me more about that not doing well. What do you mean when you say you're not doing well?
This whole situation is just really turned my life upside down.
Mhm.
It's kind of like the last straw. I'm working two jobs.
Mhm.
Um, I've been a realtor for a few years, and that's really my career, and that's
Mhm.
really where what pays the bills. And since the economy turned, I had to go find a job as a waitress, and now I'm really struggling to pay the bills. I'm struggling to put gas in the car, to put food on the table, and after all that, every day, going through
Mhm.
this grind and dealing with this, you guys take my kids.
So let me just make sure that I got everything right. You're a single mom, is that
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you're working extremely hard to be a provider for your kids. You know, the
Mm-hmm.
economy, it's crashed. You know, your career, which you're used to, your element, you're no longer able to work in that field. So you've had to learn a new trade, which I'm sure, probably was not the one you wanted. But that shows the strength that you even said, hey, I'm going to keep persevering for my kids. So you went forth and, you got another career, and now you feel like I'm just at the end of the road. My kids are taken. What does the end of the road mean to you? What do you mean by the end of the road?
Just that this is, I don't feel like I can sink any lower. I'm
Mm-hmm.
really embarrassed by this whole situation
Mm-hmm.
because, I'm a good mother. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
really good mother. I take care of my kids. I do everything I can to make sure they're provided for.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the day that this all happened, I was just really feeling low.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had a couple drinks. I know I probably shouldn't have been driving, but, my sister usually watches the kids for me, but she had made plans, so I couldn't leave the kids with her. And, the kids kind of grew out of their car seats, and I need to get new ones. And that's why I didn't have them in their car seats that day. So everything just came to a head, and it wasn't supposed to happen like that,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I mean when I feel like I'm at the end of my road. It's like how I can't get any lower than this.
So you feel like you've hit rock bottom.
Yes.
I can see where you're coming from, and you know, we all have our days where we feel really low and feel like it's normal to feel like, man, I can't take it anymore. And people have different ways of coping with that. And from my understanding, you were drinking because you felt that way.
Yeah, I just wanted to relax. It was my day off.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, normally my sister watches the kids
Right.
for me when I work, and I watch the kids for her when she works. But our schedules happened that we both had a day off at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really kind of not fair for me to ask her to watch my kids on her day off,
Mm-hmm.
and neither is it her fair to ask me to watch her kids on her day off. So she took her kids, and she went to do whatever she had to do, and which made I had to take my kids with me. I had to have my kids. However, the next day I go right back to work, and I work six
Mm-hmm.
days a week. So I only get one day off a week, and I just
Right.
really wanted to de-stress.
What are some other ways in which you de-stress? How? What other things do you do to de-stress, to relax, to have that time?
Um, not, I like to sit back and have a glass of wine, and just kind of watch TV, kind of mellow out, maybe read a book. Um, Other than that, I go to the gym. I like to work out. That's really when I have like my time alone because at the gym they have a daycare, so I can
Also,
put
the
my
kids can go with you.
Yeah, they can go with me
Okay.
to that, and I can put them in a daycare area, and I enjoy doing that. I haven't been able to do that in a while because of my schedule, because I work so much, and because money is so tight. We really can't afford the gym right now. So, you know, I really don't know how else to get the same amount of relaxation that I used to get from working out in the gym. Now that I don't have that gym membership.
Do you ever take the kids to the park or anything like that? Does that help you to relax?
Yeah, when I do get a chance to take them to the park, I guess it is nice. I guess it is fun because there's a park up the street from us, and there's a big pond, and I'll take the kids and we'll walk around the whole pond, and it usually takes us about 30 minutes. So it's a nice way to exercise for me and the kids, um, and it's really calm out there too. So I guess we do. Yeah, that is kind of relaxing when we do that.
And I don't want to ignore your feelings because I believe I heard you say earlier that you felt embarrassed by your circumstances. Is that correct? Now, when you say embarrassed, are you saying embarrassed because of the DUI, because your children are taken? Like, what part of it embarrasses you?
Um, I'm embarrassed because CPS basically labeled me a bad mother and took my kids from me because they say that I'm an unfit parent to take care of my kids. When I'm the only one that can take care of my kids the way that they're supposed to take care of. No foster parent or foster mom or dad or whatever is going to love my kids the way that I do. So, first of all, I feel like it's ludicrous. This is my first time ever getting a DUI. This is my first time having to even deal with CPS. So I don't even understand why they had to go so far as to take my kids from me. But I feel like now I'm just labeled. Like everybody's looking at me like, oh, you must be a bad mother because, your kids got taken away from you. And I'm not. I'm a good mother.
And I can totally understand that. And I don't want you to feel like you're labeled because your children were taken. You know, I want you to see the bigger frame of it. You probably are a great mom to your children. I mean, you're working hard, 6 days a week, one day off, doing whatever you can to provide for them, to take care of them, taking them to the park with your spare time. I can see that you really do love your kids, but you feeling like you're labeled. I want you to see that when you were driving in the car with them and you had been drinking alcohol, did you feel that that was safe to do so?
Um, it probably wasn't the best decision. Um, at the time, I didn't really feel like I was intoxicated enough that I couldn't drive. And that's why I made that decision because I would never put my kids in harm's way on purpose. So, but looking back, I think I could have made better decisions. I think I probably shouldn't have been driving with them in the car. And if I could go back and change it, I would. I would make a different decision, but I can't go back to the past and change what's happened. I just can only deal with what's now.
But you can look towards your future. And if you could look into the future, like, what would it look like for you? How would things be?
I would definitely have my kids. We'd be living in a house where they could have their own rooms and there'd be food, all kinds of food in the refrigerator, and I would have a job. My real estate business would be booming, and I'd be selling like two houses, two, three houses a month. Um, yeah, we just wouldn't have any more financial worries. Life would be a lot more relaxed. And, like I said, the kids would have more space to run around in the house, and I would have the money to take care of them as well as do things I like to do for myself.
And even in looking to the future, do you feel like those are things that you can achieve and attain in life?
Well, I know I'm gonna get my kids back. I know I'm gonna get my kids back because whatever you need me to do, I'll do. If you want me to jump on the table, I'll jump on the table. If you want me to, whatever you want me to do, I'm gonna get my kids back. So I know that's gonna happen. Um, but as far as like my realtor business becoming successful again,
But you have your license, right?
I have my license, but I don't really see that happening.
You don't.
It hasn't happened so far. So,
So if the economy was to miraculously boom overnight, you don't feel like, you have the skills. Do you feel you have the skills to attain to have your career booming again?
oh, definitely, definitely, because when the economy was better, we were doing well. I was selling houses, I was making deals, and it was just really, when the economy was going, I know I can do it. I know I have the skills, I have the training. I've been successful at it before, you know. So, but I just, with this economy, I'm just doubtful because it's been so long, and I've had to start waitressing, which I really hate. I really hate that job.
And I mean that must be incredibly hard to have to go to work day after day and hate something, but to know that you're doing it for your kids. And even if you had to look in the future, the economy one day it will, go back up. And with those skills, you can attain that. It's not something that's unattainable. You can get there. You know.
I mean, I could see that happening, if the economy were to turn around. If a miracle is to happen and it turns around, I would, I could do that. But for now, it's just me and my sister. We just trying to make it through this whole thing the best way we can, and all we have is each other. Basically, all we have is each other, and we're just trying to make it work however we can right now.
It sounds like you and your sister are really close.
Yeah, we're really close. We're really close. Um, she's 8 years older than me, and she practically raised me. She's kind of a mother figure to me. She's always been there for me when I needed her. Even right now when things aren't going so well for us, I know I can always count on her and depend on her. Like, she's always there for me. So,
and how does she feel about everything that has occurred? What would she say about things that have happened?
She's upset about the whole situation, about the kids being taken, about me drinking and driving with kids in the car. So, she's a little upset with me right now because of that, and I feel really bad because not only are my kids did I cause my kids to be taken away, I guess, but that, I also kind of let her down too. So I think she's disappointed.
So do you think that she would? What do you think she would say about you coming in here today and making that initial step to getting your kids back? What do you think she would say about that?
I think she would say I have to, have to do what I gotta do. Like I think that she'll be proud of me for, not just falling to pieces and falling apart, but for getting here on time, for doing what I need to do and making sure my ducks are in a row so that I can take care of my business and get my kids back. Like, if I wasn't here doing what I was supposed to do, then I couldn't even look at her. I wouldn't even be able to face her. So,
Right. So is your sister your only support system? Is she the only one you have to rely on when you need childcare?
um, well, primarily yes. There is a girl that I work with that her and I have become really good friends, and from time to time I'll watch her kids on my day off for her sometimes. So um, I've never had her watch my kids before, but I think that in an emergency I'll be able to call her. That's
And
pretty much it.
that's pretty much it. Well, I definitely want to give you some resources for childcare, especially you're a single parent with two kids, so there's a lot of funding for low income families, so that those times where you feel like I just need that time to myself. Maybe I just want a cup of wine, away from the kids, and when you're at work, you can have that child care. Would that be something you would be interested in?
Definitely, definitely. That would help out a lot. That would really help out a lot and would make life easier and give me some more time to myself.
Because from what I heard you saying earlier, it just seems like you work, 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 and then on that one day off, sometimes you do just need that little bit of time to yourself to relax. You know, even if it's just taking a cup of wine, but without the involvement of driving with the kids in the car.
Yeah, right. Anything to get a little bit of a break from that, would be helpful.
And if you had your children right now, my understanding is that they didn't have restraint seats.
Mhm.
So if you had them right now and you had to drive with them, what would be different?
Um, like if I had to pick them up right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would go borrow some car seats from the girl I told you I worked with, because
Mm-hmm.
our kids are around the same ages, and I would take them home, and then I would, go out and get them their own car seats. But again, it's a money issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard, and I might not be able to drive with them in the car at all for a while
Mm-hmm.
until I can afford to buy them some car seats, which is gonna make life harder for us to get on the bus everywhere. So,
Mm-hmm. So are your license still? Do you still have your license? Or are they suspended? Do you know the status of that?
um, they suspended my license for 3 months, so I can't drive for 3 months anyway.
Oh, okay. So the children will be able to ride with them. All right.
Right.
So after talking, how are you feeling now?
Yeah. I feel better because you mentioned the child care, which will kind of give me and my sister a break, because I have two and she has three. So when they're all together, it can be really busy and hard to deal with sometimes when you're already tired and stressed. So now I feel better about that. I I also feel like I can explain myself because I'm not a bad person. And finally, somebody's willing to listen to me because the judge wouldn't really listen to me. The officer didn't want to hear anything I had to say when he took the kids from me. Um, and I just felt like everybody was looking at me and judging me, and nobody wanted to hear my side of the story. So, I feel better being able to get that out and actually tell somebody that, look, I don't make bad decisions all the time. This was a one time thing.
Right.
And I'm sure that can be really frustrating when, people are not even willing to listen to you. We all want to be heard. We all want to feel like, what's occurring in our life is normal. Things happen, unfortunately, in your case. They happen to an extreme where your children had to be removed, but things do happen, and, we all face things that we may not want to happen, but they do occur. But that doesn't mean that because that happens, you have to be labeled that way. You know, Change can occur. There is hope for the future, and just by you coming in here today and making that first step into getting your kids back, it's showing me a great amount of strength that you have and determination. And you're saying, hey, I'm willing to do whatever I can because I want my kids back. And I admire you for that because you picked yourself up and you said, hey, I have to dust myself off and I'm going to come and do whatever I have to do to get my kids back.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'm willing and I'm here to work with you to help you to get your kids back and to do whatever you want to do. Do you feel like alcohol is a problem for you?
No, I really don't feel like it's a problem for me. Like I said, that day I was just feeling really stressed, so I probably drank more than I usually do. But I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink, a lot. So I wouldn't say I drink a lot, during the month or anything like that, or during the week. So I don't think it's a problem.
What is drinking a lot?
I think drinking a lot would be drinking every day. So, um, and I don't drink every day. So I think that would pretty much be drinking a lot. Somebody who drank like every day.
So on a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being maybe 1 to 2 drinks a week, and 5 being, I have about 3 to 4 drinks a day. Where would you place yourself on that scale?
Um, I think I'd be at a 1 because maybe I drink or did you? Because I drink like about a couple of times a week, maybe 3 days a week.
3 days out of the week.
Yeah, but glass of wine after work to help me go to sleep. That's about it. Help wind down.
Okay. So you don't feel like you need any help with alcohol? You feel like you can control the alcohol in your sobriety?
Yes, definitely. I don't think alcohol is an issue at all for me. Like I said, I think I just had a little bit too much that day, and I didn't realize it. And I felt like I was okay to drive. No, because I would never put my kids in harm's way on purpose. So, that was just a one-time thing. That was a fluke. That's my first DUI. I'm 37 years old, and that's my first DUI. So that tells you I don't have a problem, with alcohol. So I just feel like, that's the least of my worries. That's the least of my worries.
So, alcohol being the least of your worries, what is the most of your worries? If you had to prioritize your worries, what is your most concern?
The thing that I'm worried about the most right now is getting my kids back. Like I really, want to start working on that as soon as possible and get my kids back with me and not have them living with strangers. Just get my kids back. That's what I'm most concerned about right now.
So would it be safe to say that on a scale, the importance of your kids from a 1 to 10, 10 being I have to have my kids immediately, one being, this time will help me to get things together and I can have some alone time. What would you say?
Definitely a 10.
A 10?
A 10. Yeah, I don't care what I have to do or what it takes. And yes, my kids, it is stressful being a single parent and raising two young kids alone, but they're mine.
Uh-huh.
And, I feel like that's my responsibility and that's what I need to do, and I'm not running away from it. It's hard, but life is hard, so.
And I admire you for that, and whatever you feel you need to talk to someone or you just feel you need to be listened to, I'll be here. And if you want to meet before you go to your parenting classes, I'll be here. If you want to meet after your parenting classes, I'll give you my direct information. You can come to the office and we can set up times if you feel like you need someone to talk to you.
Okay, that works.
Okay, and was there anything else you wanted to tell me or that you needed to say?
No, I think that's it.
Well, I thank you for coming in today to see me, and I see that you're on the right path to getting your kids back.
Thank you.
Thank you.